Prater in the ball game, hour 3 on a Wednesday, and it is schedule release day. I am T-minus 59 minutes from racing home as quick as I can to find out the future Super Bowl winning Seattle Seahawks upcoming 2024 roster. Just having fun here. We're having fun here on KTIK, The Ticket. Going to turn on our video cameras, welcome in our video audience. That's our Dollar Loan Center video audience. Bob Beeler filling in for Mike Prater this week, and we got a big-time guest in studio. Second in-studio guest today, by the way. How lucky we've been. One of the best offensive linemen in the Mountain West, a former second-team All-Mountain West player, a staple on the Boise State offensive line, and a guy that can't wait to put somebody on his back, Ben Dooley in studio. What's going on, Ben? Appreciate you giving us some time today. How you been?
I've been pretty good. Summer's just kicking off, so we're getting into some nicer weather here in Boise. Boise's always so bipolar too. The winters are tough, the summers are tough. Sometimes you get winter right in the middle of summer. So, but it's been really good.
You had an event last night, right? The Bronco Stampede, I believe it is, and there's more coming. What exactly is the Bronco Stampede? What were you doing?
Yeah, I think it's just a chance for the fans that are kind of close to our community that we want to serve, especially like in Nampa, all those cities, Caldwell, Meridian, to get a chance to meet our athletic staff. That includes like Jeremiah Dickey, that includes Coach G, a couple of the other coaches, and it's a good chance for them to kind of meet our administration, and meet our team.
Ben Dooley, a Boise State offensive lineman in studio. How should Bronco Nation, the people who are listening and watching this right now, Ben, how should they be feeling about their beloved O-line?
I think we're in a really great place. I really do. I think we have a lot of experience coming back to the O-line, which is always good in an O-line. Number one thing you're lacking in college is just that game time experience. And we have Mason Randolph, Roger, Cage Casey, we have me, and we have all four of those guys with some real-time experience, some real seasons under their belt. So
if you would say the biggest strength is what, and I would say, well, what is also the biggest weakness maybe, Ben? I mean, break it down. What are you guys best at, and where do you guys need to improve the most?
I think we hold ourselves, the O-line holds ourselves to a really high standard when it comes to the run game. And so I think our biggest, by far, in a way, is our physicality. That's our biggest strength.
Nice.
We like to get after guys. We like that downhill run, especially when, we have number Deuce in the backfield. I mean, that makes it way better. I'm blocking 8-9 yards trying to get him to the end zone there. Right. So I think number one strength by far and away is our physicality, and everyone wants to be that extracurricular kind of guy, putting people on their back, giving the juice to the wideouts and the quarterback and running back out there.
So do you have more juice on a play, like if it's a running play, if it's going to come to your side and the running back and somebody as good as Ashton Jeanty is going to be right behind you, and then how hard is it to keep up with him when you make your block?
I mean, that's not my job. So once he breaks me, he's on his own, but I have a lot of trust in him, dude. I have a lot of trust. If he breaks me, I know we've done a good play, but yeah, I mean, he's amazing back there, and obviously easy.
Well, I was going to say, I want to go to another area, quarterbacks. You played with a lot of different quarterbacks. You block differently for a different style guy?
It depends. There's a couple examples I can give like Taylor Green. Like, I knew he was a runner. He likes to escape the pocket, and he likes to get out there. And so, like, when you're an O-lineman, you're not just going to hold your block in space, and he's not going to sit back there. So you kind of have to be ready for guys to move out and pursue the quarterback. And when I have like Mad Dog back there, I'm like, he likes to sit back there, take his time, find the open man, and get the ball. And so I'm like, if I feel a guy bull rushing me, I sit that thing down. I'm holding it as long as I can.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
Ben Dooley in studio, Prater on the ball game, our video segment. Shout out again to Dollar Loan Center. What makes Tim Keane a damn good O-line coach? And I'll just say this: I went to a ton of practices, Ben, and Coach Keane will get on your ass, man. I love watching you guys over there. Like, he is as animated as there is a coach on the staff. And if he don't like what's going on, all you dudes are hearing it, man. This is what, year 3 for you with Tim Keane, I believe, or is it year 4 already? It's going to be crazy how fast the time goes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long look back.
Just your coach, right?
Yeah. No, I think Keane does a couple things remarkably well. And I think the physicality being our strength or our emphasis, I think a lot of that comes from Keane. He's a down and dirty dude. He exemplifies the O-line like just the perfect personification of what we want to be. That's what Keane emphasizes, and that's something he does really well.
Wow.
He keeps it simple like that, which I think O-line can get either really complicated or like really simple. And I think it's better to play simple ball well and then like the complicated ball like less consistently. So, and I think he does a really good job of that. So that's two things he does. And then another thing that I've always been super fond of with Keane is he develops the younger guys and develops the oranges in the room. Being through a couple coaches, like some of them just focus on the starters, and then the kind of the oranges kind of left to figure it out, and you better kind of get with the program or you're gone. But he does a really good job of really focusing on their technique and getting them right so that they're ready to step into that position if they're called upon.
It's great stuff.
Visiting with Ben Dooley, one of the offensive linemen. Ben, you've played a number of positions that you've been here. Why do you think right now left tackle is your spot? Left guard's your spot. You've played tackle, you've played guard, you've played both sides of the line. I don't remember ever you at center, but why left?
It's not a great answer for the sides per se, but I definitely like guard a little better. I'm an athletic dude and you need to be athletic out in space, but guard is it's me and another dude in a telephone box, and he can't go anywhere and he can't run away from me. He doesn't have the space there. So like I get to impose my will on him. And I feel like I've taken that, really shined with it, which has made me a better guard than I was a tackle. And I feel like that's, I think the coaches see that too as well.
Hall Schmidt, people were wondering, well, who's going to replace Cade Beresford, who was a staple on the all-conference team, but also on the Boise State offensive line. I've heard a lot of people talk about Hall and the camp he had. People seem thrilled moving forward. You are the senior citizen, if you will, of this offensive line, and that's a good thing. That's a compliment, man. This is your O-line. Hall Schmidt's going to be the right tackle. How excited are you, or how much can you calm Bronco Nation down that, hey, right tackle, you guys are going to be A-okay there with Hall Schmidt?
Yeah. I have a ton of respect, and I gained a ton of respect for Hall through the spring. We didn't have a lot of O-linemen. We didn't have a lot of depth when it comes to camp. People are from season are getting their surgeries. People are figuring out their depth. We're getting new recruits in with the portal and everything being so crazy right now. So Hall actually ended up taking orange and blue reps the whole camp, whole spring. He took all those reps, and he never complained about it once. And I'm like, if I'm looking for trust, or if I'm looking for a guy that I can depend on, it's that kind of, he has that attitude right there. Is like,
wow. And he could have complained about it, and you would have been like, yeah, that is kind of horse crap that Hall's got to run with both units, but he did. And he shut up. He put his head down, and he went to work. Wow.
And that personifies the trench life. That's what I'm looking for in an O lineman. And so even if the technique needs to take another jump, or he just needs some more experience like that, like we were talking about earlier, I believe he has the right mentality to become the O line.
Ben, you coming back for a 6th year. This is an extra year for you. Why did you decide you wanted to come back? And then maybe what are you looking for to getting out of this year?
I definitely think, everyone's last year is their kind of like lasting impression to go for the NFL. So like, obviously, like in my sights is the NFL. Like this season, I just need to have like just stay healthy and keep out there and show them what I can do. And that's what this season's about for me. But more importantly, I came back because I love this team. I love this team. This team is my family. This team is my brothers. I would do anything for this team, and to have another year with those guys meant everything to me. So I was like, why? It's a no-brainer. I have to take it. So it wasn't really a choice for me. I was coming back for Coach D. I was coming back for the team.
Man, what are your measurables right now? You're looking solid, Ben. I mean, what is this? What are we talking about? I'm not talking about the beard. We'll get that to later.
Yeah. I am. I'm hefty right now, and my friends poke fun of me a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously the whole line.
What are you weighing? What are you weighing?
Yeah, I'm weighing 315 right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 312 or something like that. It's up there. I generally kind of float around 305. So,
and that's where you want to be on August 31st in Georgia Southern. You're thinking.
I mean, I'd love to be that way, but it is hard to keep that on during camp.
What's your favorite thing to munch on too? Like, if you could eat anything you want tonight,
favorite snack.
What's Ben Dooley gonna eat?
It's for some reason, it's just like a bowl of cereal, like a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. If I'm going for like a easy, late night, great snack, it's a bowl of cereal for me. No matter.
Okay, cereal guy, Bob.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Big
going to say, I
cereal
saw
guy.
you guys going over to Coach Keane's house a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
You guys were going over for, I guess, a little barbecue. So I would be like, I better have a lot of stuff if you've got the whole offensive line over there.
Yeah, we get the aluminum trough going pretty good. You know,
So-
if we're gonna have 14-0 linemen, we need buffet style.
Are
kind
you
of
So
thing.
who's the all-conference eater in the offensive line?
Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question. I think Mason and me can eat. We can put away, like if we go to Yotomo, all you can eat sushi kind of thing. We'll put easily down like 6 rolls with a bunch of appetizers.
You alone 6 rolls?
Yeah, be pretty easy.
God dang, man. I mean, I've done like 2.5 or 3. 6 rolls.
You're
of
talking
sushi.
to pros here.
Yeah, I
Pros.
mean, I eat for a living, guys.
Yeah, gosh,
So-
man. Ben Dooley in studio with us, the pride of Fallon, Nevada.
Yes, sir. Represent.
Where the hell's Fallon, Nevada?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, surprisingly or unsurprisingly. Fallon, Nevada is an hour due east of Reno. So
Okay.
it's kind of like right if you drive down to Vegas, if you go on the I-95, you'll hit it. You drive through it. It takes like 5 minutes. You probably wouldn't even realize you drove through it. But
So how did Boise State find you? How did you find Boise State? What's the story that has you sitting here for 6 years?
yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. I was as a sophomore or as a high schooler, I never played football. I quit back in junior high because our team wasn't very good. I didn't really
What?
want to play. And then I moved down to Fallon, out of Moscow, which I originally hear.
Yeah,
It's
Ben,
alma mater, I
Vandal
guess.
fans,
Yeah.
this guy was up there for us and we let him slip.
Yeah,
Damn
I
it.
guess we did. And so I went down to Fallon sophomore year. Their football team was a little better. And so I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I like to roughhouse a little bit, you know, if you can't tell that by looking at me.
You were a
But,
wrestler too, right?
Yeah, I was. I was a big time wrestler. Loved wrestling. And I think it makes the best football players, but we can get into that a little later. But anyways, I just wanted to play football and I was playing with my friends. And then out of nowhere, kind of UNR was like, hey, can we watch you work out? We've seen you kind of like at the games. And so I was like, yeah, sure. They watched me. They offered me. They were like, post the offer. So I posted it. And a bunch of teams start reaching out once they kind of like see my measurables, my highlight film and stuff like that. And so Boise State reached out, visited here, and I was like, I just knew I was going to come here.
That was the spot.
They had the right mentality I was looking for, you know, and they like to win, and I like to win. So
Now, you were a state champ wrestler in Nevada, and I
Yeah.
was going to ask you, bring it up. How does wrestling kind of fit with football, and how maybe as being a good wrestler helped you as a football player?
yeah, I got an All-American title down there in Fallon. So
Man, okay.
yeah, not to toot the own horn, but
No,
yeah,
toot away,
I did
man.
love
We
me some
We
wrestling.
toot in here
so-
all the time.
yeah.
Trust me. Prater hates it.
But I think understanding how to move somebody else, especially in the O-line, obviously that's my whole job, and understanding how your body has to move to do that,
Yeah.
and to be strong in those positions, you learn all of that in wrestling, and that's all becomes part of your habits. Coach Keane always jokes, me and him, like I always roll my shoulders forward and keep my hands really close because that's a wrestling stance. And he's like, you got to get your shoulders back and down if you're like, that's O-line stance. And I'm like, it's a hard habit to break just because I've had so much wrestling in me.
So you would advise, like, if there's a dad right now driving in his car and
Mhm.
his son is an offensive lineman at
Yeah.
junior league going up, you would say,
Get him to wrestling as fast as you can.
okay,
Yeah.
That's-
Immediately.
That's sound advice from an all-conference offensive lineman who was an all-American wrestler when he was in high school. Ben Dooley with us.
All right, compare the feeling
Mhm.
pinning somebody and winning in wrestling versus knocking somebody down and trampling them in football. I mean, I'm sure they're both good.
Yeah,
I
they're
wish I could
similar.
have done
There's
one of those.
They're
things.
similar. It depends on the pin. You know, if it's kind of like late in the third round and I'm really we're working this dude and we're both just tired and he kind of rolls over onto his back and I get the pin just because he's fatigued. You know, it's kind of good. But if you get into like a throw and that guy lands on his back and you hear his back smack the mat, then you're like, that was a great pin.
The back smat.
Yeah. It's nice. It's the best sound in wrestling, really.
The back
Splat.
splat
Yeah.
on the mat.
Yeah. You hear it skin right on it. Bam.
I would
So-
imagine you got a pretty damn good feeling when Ashton Genty runs into the end zone.
I mean, that's
too.
what I was just about to say. I was like, on the other hand, we're running over people and then Ashton's running them over again. And I'm like, that's almost like it's double good. you know?
Ah.
So it's a hard feeling to compare. They're different, but they're both good.
I mean, what are we talking here with Ashton Genty? I mean, you guys have like the best seat in the house on a lot of times. Nobody watches more film than linemen. So you've seen every one of his runs. You've dissected it every which way. This is your third year now blocking for Ashton Genty. We had him in that same seat like a month ago. He can't talk enough about his offensive line. It feels like there is this crazy connection, this love between Ashton Genty and the guys up front. Can you attest to that, Ben Dooley?
Yeah. And I think he's made it his mission to kind of just include us when he gets that spotlight. And as someone who doesn't get a lot of that spotlight, which I'm totally fine with, by the way.
Yeah.
As just to get included, to be with him and for him to recognize our work means everything to me. And it makes me want to like die for him. Like I'll go out there and I'll block as hard as I can for you if you can get a good.
You'll risk injury.
Yeah, I'll risk anything for him. So like, and he's made that a super big point of emphasis for him. Like he's always like taking us out for lunch and coming up to us after practice and watching film with us. Like
he comes in and watches film with you.
And
Genty will sit there with the lineman and watch film.
Yeah, and not a lot of backs do it. So,
well, speaking of watching, can you tell sometimes, and now you've played a lot of years, so you can understand the fronts.
Mm-hmm.
You ever have a play where you say, "Oh, they're not lined up right. This is going to go big."
It's almost every play. If I know Ashton's going to get the ball, I mean, no matter kind of like what front they're in, I'm like, if we can just get this double, if I can move this guy a foot backwards, it's all I got to do. Ashton will get 8 yards. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I definitely like have a ton of confidence in what he can do.
I mean,
and his vision is what really surprises me.
It's like, the vision's insane, and that's one of the most important tools for a back.
And decisiveness, like
he can jump over you, though. He can run through you. He can stiff arm you. He can spin. I mean, he truly is a joystick.
I've always said I would hate to tackle him when I watch the film. That's the number one thing we always say. Like, just imagine trying to tackle him being on.
You guys say that to each other in the line.
Yeah, of course. Like if he breaks the box,
him?
and then like some safety's like, like it's on me now. I got to tackle Ashton Genty, and he's moving as fast as he can. And I'm like, yeah, it's just a tough.
Well, you played defense in the line one game in 20 when we had some people out during COVID. So you did it one game and said no after that? Or?
I mean, I didn't say no. It was just a crazy opportunity, I guess. And I'm grateful for it. It was pretty fun. See ball, get ball kind of thing, kind of throw all the line out of the head. But
not a lot of players can say they've taken a snap from scrimmage on offense and defense.
Right. I mean, it's definitely a little crown or a jewel on my crown for sure when it comes to college football. I love playing, and I got all swagged up for the game. I don't know if I can find the picture still, but O-line doesn't wear a lot of swag. So I went over to D-line. I put on the arm sleeve. I put on the armbands. I had like the speedy cleats and stuff like that. So it was nice. It was nice to get dressed up.
Now you said this summer, I said before we started, what are you doing? You said a lot of you were playing pickleball.
Yeah.
So you're playing as pairs, as individuals? Or
what? 1v1 is a lot of running around.
Okay.
So the O-line's kind of with the pairs. We like to sit on the court a little bit.
You guys like keep score and standings and stuff? I mean, is it fair? What type of level pickleball we talking here, Ben Dooley?
And when you get the Boise State athletes together, it is hard not to go to 100 as hard as you can, be as competitive as you can. So, of course, we keep score. Of course, we talk a lot of crap. Of course, we're always debating whether it was in or out when it comes to the line. It gets heated out there. We get competitive down there.
So, do you have a partner? Or you guys mix it up?
Oh, we have like a regular group that goes, and we always mix it up because we're all kind of like equal skill level. Yeah. We're still figuring it out, but we try.
I want to get to a workout plan here real quick, but I've seen you scrap a couple times in practice. You seem like a pretty tough guy, and I don't think guys line up to fight you. If you would have your pick, just a little practice quarrel, who's your favorite person on the team that you love to maybe get in a fight with if it comes to spring or fall camp?
Do you have
a favorite person to fight?
Yeah. It's just like some defensive linemen, love them to death, love all my D linemen. They can get under your skin. And Jaden Virgin has a real specialty for doing it to me. And it's not even anything he really does. It's just, I don't know what he got on him, but he gets under my skin. So if we're going to have a little friendly tussle, it would be with him for sure. But I love the dude.
He's improved a lot. I mean, I'm sure
that's what gets me going.
And all
he
the,
beats
all the
me.
time.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it gets me. He gets in my head a little bit.
We can't wait for the season to start. I know you might want to press pause a little bit and soak up everything that is your last year being in this family, or actually on this program. You're in the family for the rest of your life. But I know you guys got big goals. You want that playoff. You think everything is set. Ben Dooley, we'll be talking about you guys every day, all summer. Appreciate you coming on. You got Bronco Nation fired up, man. People are thinking you guys can do some very special things this season.
We can with the people that we have and the staff we have, with the coach that we have, Coach D. Again, amazing coach, the best coach I've ever had. Cares about me as a person, as a player, as a man. So
Best you've
all
ever
up
had.
to the guys.
Best
You
I
you've
didn't
ever
appreciate
had.
you guys for letting me on. That was-
Well, one thing before we let you go. Great beard for people that are looking.
yeah.
Best on the team?
I mean,
That's
now
a
that
well
DJ
done
left,
beard,
I
man.
think I'm kind of it. I'm
It
doing
is.
like, you know, by
You just
the
got
fault.
that thing trimmed. People
Yeah,
comment,
looks
you're
good.
seeing you're on TV right now, Benny. like that's a hell of a beard. If
Yeah.
you like showed up to a casting call of like Game of Thrones or something,
I might get in there.
instantly.
Yeah, it's the mountain, and then I'll sneak in right there, like
Yes.
next to him. or something.
That's why you listen to Idaho Sports Talk. Ben Dooley in studio. Beeler's in for Prater. We're Prater on the ball game. KTIK the ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is